A full moon, or some stage thereof, has often been blamed for weird and unpredictable human behavior. The moon does very much indicate for us the appearance of our King. Asbury Phelps' 10-minute Torah, day 2 of Yom Teruah commentary. Let's go back to what we were at yesterday in Vayikra, Leviticus chapter 23. And verse 24 says, "Speak to the children of Israel, saying, in the 7th new moon, on the first day of the new moon." Yom Teruah is unique in that it is observed, unlike any of the other feast days, it is observed on the first day of the month. All other feast days, Pesach, Hag Matzot, HaBikurim, that is Passover, unleavened bread, and first fruits, Shavuot, the Feast of Pentecost, if you will. Yom Teruah, not Yom Teruah, Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, and Sukkot, Feast of Tabernacles. All these take place somewhere in the middle of the month. Standing alone, unique in this respect, is Yom Teruah, the day of noise, the day of the blast, a shout, a trumpet. It starts uniquely then on the first day of the month. What causes a little concern here is you have to watch the moon to appropriately determine when the first day of the month is. Now, calculations have been used for some periods of time now, where we forecast according to the Hebrew or rabbinical calendar as to when each day of the new moon is to be observed. Not here to discuss calendars, not here to argue calendars. There's a variety of opinions, and you're very much welcome to your expression and observance. So, again, no fault finding here whatsoever, just a few thoughts. Now, as I said yesterday, there are two main ways of observing when the new moon starts. Some look for the dark moon, the conjunction. They watch the moon as it fades in the afternoon or morning sun, morning skies. You can look and you can see what stage of the moon is as it is waxing to a full moon and then waning thereafter until it is all but disappeared and then gone. Now, if you're looking for conjunction, that will give you an understanding ahead of time as to when to observe the new moon. Then there are those that look for the first appearance of the sliver. They go out perhaps at night and they're looking to see is there a tiny sliver of a new moon. Again, both activities are affected by the waning stages of the moon. Whether you observe the dark moon or the first sliver, you can get a very close estimation, an approximation, by watching the moon as it wanes in the sky. So you have to keep your eyes, your gaze up. You have to look up. Now, more on that in a moment, but what causes a bit of focus here and a little bit of, I started to say concern, it's not really concern, but something that you need to pay attention to. That is, you can't always go by a forecasted calendar in this respect. What if the sky is clouded over and you can't see? You're looking for the signs, however you observe them. You're estimating, you're calculating, but that final piece of evidence is clouded over and you're not able to see. Therefore, since it is the first day of the month and it requires, scripturally, 2 witnesses to see that it is indeed the first day, again, by whichever methodology you choose, you may not get that second or even that first witness. That being the case, It's a day that is in, and I don't want to say limbo, but it's a day in flux. That's a better word. We're watching and we're looking for. We can get close, but we don't know exactly what day that is. There's a clue pertaining to this, and Yeshua gave it to us in the book of Matthew, chapter 25. And in verse number 13, he says, "Watch therefore, because you do not know the day nor the hour at which the Son of Adam is coming." You don't know. And because this day for Yom Teruah has been, again, we'll use the phrase in flux, and a waiting and seeing period of time, it has picked up idioms such as the day that is hidden, or the day and the hour no man knows. Again, you can find out. It's not an eternal secret. You just have to watch and you have to pay attention. So again, and then in Luke, chapter number 21 and verse number 28, let's back up a little bit. Let's go to verse 25. Yeshua said, "And there shall be signs in the sun and moon and stars, and on the earth anxiety of nations, in bewilderment at the roaring of the sea and agitation, men fainting from fear, and the expectation of what is coming on the earth, for the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Adam coming in a cloud with power and much esteem." And when these matters began to take place, what matters are you talking about? The signs in the heavens and the raging of the sea. That may be the large bodies of water, or it could also, in a double reference, have a sea of humanity reference. Just like the anti-Messiah in Revelation chapter 13 steps up out of the midst of the sea. Doesn't mean he comes out of a body of water. He comes out of the mass of humanity, very likely. When you see men fainting from fear, when you see the dread of what's coming upon the earth, look up, he says. Look up, lift up your heads, because your redemption draws nigh. These things are appearing to us then as evidences, just like those that are watching for the new moon here for the month of Tishrei, when we can see exactly when this new month begins. We see all these events in the earth. We look up and we see these things taking place. Yeshua says, don't watch all the stuff on the earth so much as look up and start watching for his appearance as he returns in a cloud. If we go over to the book of Hebrews, in chapter number 10 and verse 25, let's go with 24 and 25. "And let us be concerned for one another in order to stir up love and good works, not forsaking the assembling of ourselves together as the habit of some is, but encouraging, and so much more as you see the day." What day are we talking about? Yom Teruah. As you see the day coming near, the day that is hidden, the day that no man knows the day nor the hour of. Pay attention. And finally, he says, Rav Shaul says, in 1 Thessalonians, after he finishes with chapter 4, where he is talking about the return of the Messiah. One of my daughters, facetiously, I guess, put something on Facebook about being scared as a child of the imminent return through the rapture of the church. And we got a little bit of a kick of that. I no longer preach that doctrine. But in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, it says, "Now, brothers, as to the times and the seasons, you do not need to be written to, for you yourselves know very well the day of Yahweh comes as a thief in the night." It comes suddenly. Practicing looking for Yom Teruah is good practice looking for the coming of the King in the kingdom. More on this tomorrow. Until then, shalom.